So Jesus and the saints and us saints are the only ones that have been able to live to that commandment and to all the commandments. The reason is the law and the commandments are the Word. That's why we're not under the law anymore. We have God in us controlling our flesh. Our flesh responds to Him all day long, every second of the day, because this flesh is dead to the world. It's no longer Brad. But even though I keep the name, I'm really God in the flesh. Now, I didn't get A's in English or in speech when I was in school. I did very, very poorly with that. And that's why I'm not good to speak. And I know Peter wasn't either. He mentioned that in the scriptures, in the writings. He wasn't good to speak. Moses wasn't good to speak. Paul wasn't good to speak. In fact, I don't think very many of them were. And God chose these kind of people so we don't elevate ourselves up too far, okay? He wants to keep us down in the dirt, basically, and then just let the words, let the truth be exposed and affect people's their sin nature. Okay? So every time I speak, I'm judging. Every word I'm using is judging the sinners, the flesh. Okay? Now, this age is all about the flesh resisting the Word. Even for 54 years, I was a sinner. It resisted the Word, even though the Word was in me. It was constantly pushing away. I was an alcoholic when God came to me. So that's how much my body was resisting the Word. So this tribulation is since mankind existed, and the flesh. The flesh has always been. The reason is all the atoms are commanded by God. They obey God. They're supposed to. But in this age, He put those sin traits in our DNA, and that caused our flesh to reject Him. Okay? They repel each other. And that's why sinners don't know who they are, because it's in rebellion against the Word. So that's what all the scriptures are about. It's about the Word overpowering the sin nature. And Jesus Christ was needed to do that for us. He defeated the sin nature in us, but only for us saints that came after Him. So only us saints became sinless. All the rest of the people are sinners until they die. The penalty of sin is death. So once they die in the flesh, then they're free. Their spirit is free from it. And no longer, that's it. Never again will they be in the flesh that resists the Word. So Revelation, is about the ending of the flesh. The revealing of God in all these men, in the saints, in Jesus, and the ending of the flesh that are going to be destroyed and have been dying ever since man died in the first place. The flesh is dead. That's why they called them the dead, even while they were living. Jesus said many times, the dead this, the dead that. He knew he was living in a dead body. When He rose from the dead, He rose from the dead, His flesh. His body didn't raise from His spirit. The Word. It was the Word that rose from His flesh. You got that? It's difficult. I know it's difficult for a sinner to understand this, because you're so used to, especially if you're Christian, you're used to reading, your own interpretations of the scriptures. Well, your own interpretations is what deceived you. You cannot read the scriptures without the truth in you, or you'll be deceived for sure. That's a positive sure. All the Jewish people back in Jesus' time were all deceived by the scriptures. And then when Jesus found these people to follow him and listen to him, well, I mean, they had to, everything had to turn around. They were Jewish people. They learned in the wrong way. They were listening to man's interpretations. And Jesus was speaking the truth, so everything he spoke was totally different to them. And it took them a long time well, they never did. You don't get the truth from just listening to it. You get the truth from God when he comes and lives in your body, or when he exposes himself. That's when you know the truth. Okay, so Peter was the first one to be revealed to of the disciples. God revealed himself to him, and that's when he got faith. Now Jesus could go die for his sins, so Peter could be the next sinless man and have God live in his flesh and use him to go out and find the rest of the chosen ones. That's what this was all about. It was about just certain people that God chose to live in the flesh and to go out and find each other. It was nothing to do about religion. There is no religion to God. It's only revelations. It's only to reveal himself. And this knowledge that's revealed through us is kept in the Word. So when everything gets destroyed now in this age, that knowledge will be carried over to paradise. When the earth changes and changes into the new world, I call it paradise, Jesus called it paradise, and other people did too. I think Peter did. But that is where this knowledge will open up to us. And we need that in the beginning, because we won't know how to speak. We won't have any memory of a language, of vocabulary. So this knowledge has to train us and teach us what to do. So for the first long time, probably years, we won't be able to talk to each other very much, because we'll be working on this language. Now there's going to be many thousands of us who are going to be there at first, and once we get this language together, then everybody else is going to be reborn into paradise, starting with a new couple. I don't think they'll be called Adam and Eve, but it doesn't make any difference. It's going to be a couple, because all men were created both male and female. So when they get reborn into the new paradise, they're going to be born with two bodies of the opposite sex, and they'll be partners forever. Jesus Christ told the Pharisees, he said, what God has put together, let no man put asunder. He was talking about paradise. He was talking about when these two people, are reborn into the paradise, that they'll never be separated. They can't be separated because they're one man. So let me stop here. I'll do one more video.